What's good, fam? How y'all doing today? Back again with another video, another install, and it's not for my IS. Today is for this car, the Lexus CT200h. It's a hybrid, of course. I got this as my possible new daily / another business venture, but we're going to install the bigger screen and CarPlay on this car. If you haven't seen my other IS video, I did the install on. It's like, if you've never seen the after screen market install video on my IS, I'm gonna link it up down here or up there. Just, you know, typical install video. I'm gonna do the same for this car. It's a brown similar unit, nothing too crazy. Everything should be plug and play. Let's not make the video any longer. Let's get to it. What we have right here is the kit. Of course, most of the screens are from China. This is the same company that I got my IS screens from. I'm gonna link the product or their listing on the website down below. We have 3 interior trim pieces because my CT is the like auto folding one. If you have the CT, you know. So this is gonna replace that big motor bracket. This is the top bracket. Of course, you have all your wires and aux cord and GPS and etc. And then the actual screen itself, big screen in the back. It is a 10.25 screen, 4G, and this version is the 8 gig plus 8 gigs of RAM plus the 128 gigs of memory. Should be fairly simple. So let's get to the install in the car right now. Interior, the CT200h hybrid. We have your joystick here, a little USB and cigarette plug. You have the screen right there. It's very small. I have the normal issue with most CT and Prius is the screen is yellow. I'll show y'all in a bit. I have the, I guess, center console area. Should be a simple install. So let me prompt y'all up on a tripod and let's get to this install. You need a 10mm ratchet, or this is kind of overkill, but it's gonna be 4 10mm right here, and then you just need any pry tool, plastic trim tool to remove pieces, and then everything should come out. We're gonna take off this whole area here, and then this part right here, and this part to get to the top up here. All right, what we're gonna start is we're gonna take this little black plastic piece panel right here. You can start from the side and pry it out. I'll just hold my clips, pull straight towards you, don't pull down, and all of it should come out like this. Remember, pull like this way because these clips are that way. Next thing, we need to take off the side trim right here. So we just pop it up, pops out like that. Same thing over here, pops out like that. So you need to take out this whole part. Start from the back of the cup holder. It's just all clips, so it should pop up like this, wiggle around. These pieces might come together. Well, first we need to take off the shift knob. Back to what I was saying. This piece and this piece right here might come out together, or it can be separate. It's okay, neither one is fine. But you just need to keep coming up on the side. Mine, do it one at a time. Now, once you do this, since this comes in both pieces, unplug everything at the bottom. Everything is plug and play. So that's what I'm doing right now. To make it easier on you, I would try to do it in 2 pieces instead. So like this one right here. Oh, got coins everywhere. Get this out. All the only thing that's holding it right now is this clip. That's okay. So you have this wire tucked on, but once you unplug everything, there's 2 clips on this panel, and then on this panel, like this one right here, it's on the back, Up this part, you just push in the both sides and pull out. The same thing over here. There's an opening on the back of the panel. You push on both sides, pull out the clip, and then you're able to take this out of your way. So put this to the side. Since we got all the center console out, there's gonna be 4 10mm bolts. There's one right here. I'll show y'all. One right there, another one right here, another one down here, and then the one over there. Oh, got tape on me. This is when I have this. You can use anything. I'm just using this extension. It wasn't even that tight. All right, so when you get to this part, you can do 2 ways. You can just pull this out and be careful with this, or you can take this part out first and then pull this out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out first and then take this out. Take the climate control, come from the back, pull it towards you. It's just clips. And then you got plug down here. So I messed up. I'm gonna leave it in here anyway. I did the screw on the bottom, but it's actually the one on top. I couldn't see it. Rookie mistake, but this is part of why I'm doing the install for you guys. Everything should comes out straight. This is a part I'm gonna get a paper towel to cover here so it doesn't scratch the panels. I'm gonna disconnect everything. Most of the plugs are different sizing, different colors, own spots, so you wouldn't have a problem messing it up. And I think it's about 14 plugs on this unit, so it's a lot. Can't really show you because it's so tight back here. So clarify, it is not 14 plugs for this unit, since depending on the model of your car, you have Mark Levinsons and all that stuff like that. This one only has 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot easier. Like I said, color coordinate, different shapes, different pins. You should know. All right, before we get to the removal of the screen and the trim part, we need to take off one more big thing. So if you've seen my IS video, you would know that once you take out the stereo and the plugs in the back, that's basically where the harness to attach your CarPlay is. But for this system, you need to attach it to this harness over here. So to do that, to make it easier, you can take off this shifter. It's only hold on by 3 bolts. It's 12mm. I left one here for you. Take it off. It's 3. It should come off like this, and then there's 2 plugs in the back. It's one right here and then another white one right here. You unplug that. Let me show you. See, 2 plugs, big one and a white one up here. Pull that to the side, and now you get to this thing. This unit, this box has a bracket like this on both sides that mounts these 4 points. One right here, there's one right here, another one right here. Well, I lied, I'm sorry. So the bracket holds to this point right here, this point, and then one back there. You take those 4 out so you can move this around a little bit, but you can't take this out yet because of the bracket. What you need to do is, there's holes, there's 3 screws on each side, or 8mm. You take them out. It holds the bracket to the box. So what I would do is you unbolt those 4 bolts, which is a 10mm, and then start taking the 8mm screws off. So then you can take off the bracket. That way you have mobility in this room. Now I went ahead and did this already for the sake of the video. Just be careful, all the harness is pretty stiff, so once you do that, you come out and you unplug everything, and the back should be like this. My particular version, this is how it looks. Yours might be a little bit different, but the main thing you need to focus on is taking those harness because this harness right here that they provide for you is where you need to plug it into the bottom part, and then you have the daisy chain for the other harness to connect on. And I think this should be it for this box. Now they sent me this harness, and it says it's for, hold on, try to get y'all the thing. It's for a Lexus RX. I've contacted them too to make sure, but everything should be okay. I've tested out already that it fits right here. Let me show you real quick. Push it in, and then you have the daisy chain right here, and then all these, the rest of them goes up to the screen, the new screen that you have. So it's just one big plug that you need to go down there. This car takes a little bit more effort than the IS. The IS is, like I said, it was just the stereo, everything on once, unplug it and put it back in. This one you have to go a little more. It is a little tedious, but just take your time. Just do one at a time. Make sure you don't drop your screws in there. And there's a lot of plugs, but don't be scared. Most of them, like I said in the earlier video, it should fit in each individual hole, so you should be good. Okay, since we did all that already, now we need to take out this emergency light. We're gonna use the trim tool, go from the edges here, to kind of pry that out this way. It should pop up. There's only one plug for the hazard. When you get to that part, then we can take this panel we can take this trim panel off, and then we can take the screen off. One plug in the back for the emergency hazard. Put it to the side. Now we can get to this clips down here for the screen. Screen bracket, basically for this trim up here. The main thing that you need to push down is right here. I'm trying to show y'all if you can see it. You see that clip right there? You need to push that in, and then this other one over here, which should help pop up this cover right here. So we got it open. Now we need to take the screen off. With this thing, there's a plastic cover right here. There's some grooves. I don't know if you can see it. Pop it up. There should be two 10 mil up there, unbolt, and then you're able to pull the screen out. Don't be like me, since I have the auto fold function. You need to have it power so then it pop up. I know you can make it where it just stays up the whole time. Since I took everything apart already, you know, for the sake of this video, I just plug in that one big harness back again, and then so I can have power to whatever. So I can have power to open this and unplug that, and then take the bolt out. So let's go. Okay, so for this part, when you take off the cover, you should see these screws. There should be one right here, one right here, one right there. That's 3. And then you take off this other one in here. I don't think you need to take off this one, but I took it off anyway. And then there's another one on this side. And then you have 2 black ones up here in the corner on both sides. Once you do that, you can pop this off, this little hook thing, to take off this front part right here. So let me show you. Now all you need to do is just lift up this thing and pull it out this way. Just be careful, but it should come up now. The 2 bolts I told you to do, that I said I was unsure of, you can take it off anyway, because you need to take it off from this bracket right here. This one here, and then the other one on the other side. But you just pick it up and lift this way, like lift this way. So let me do that. Now that it's off, I have it in my hand. There's some plugs on the back, a few of them, and then there's this clip holder. Just, you know, it's just a pin little piece of plastic clip that you just unplug. but then there's 3 plugs, and then that's it. Remember that this car has the folding screen function. This is the motor. Since the screen, aftermarket screen, is bigger and all that, we do not have that function anymore. So the provided bracket will use to place in the spots, empty spaces for this folding thing. I'll put this to the side. Our new screen right here, a lot bigger, should sit right up there. Put this over here. There's a screen film on there. I'm gonna leave that on until I get a screen protector for this. These are the trims that they give you. Of course, you already saw that. This one is the very top. Now, since we don't have the folding mechanism anymore, we have these brackets that fits in its place. So this right here fits the back of this, and then you have 2 mounting screws right here to attach this bracket to. Let me show you that real quick. So it should look like this, clipped in. You have 2 brackets to mount this bracket together, and then you put this onto this bracket, which hopefully will be like this. I haven't put it in yet, but it goes in the bottom, up top, that pushes to the side, and then you have that cover on top. Now, before I put in the bracket and all that stuff, I would want to test the screen to make sure everything works. So this is the main harness of the screen. The main component is this part right here that goes into this thing. Basically, they should change it. They should change it for the unit and then have it to the screen up there. You're gonna use this plug and this plug on the aftermarket. So the aftermarket screen has 1, 2, 3, 4 plugs. This has 2. You have one right here and then one up top, and then the other 2 you're gonna reuse the OEM harness. You do not plug the other OEM harness back into here. You use the aftermarket plug right here. So what I'm gonna do right now is route this cable up to the top so I can be ready. You have, in the kit, you have the USB harness too. Mine is should be wire and wireless CarPlay. You have the 4G and GPS wire. You have the mic wire, and then the aux cable. Just make sure before you do all that, I'm going to plug in everything and test everything works before I whatever. All right, I route most of my wire, well, pretty much all my wire, to where I would like it to be. I did most of them to this side. There's a bigger opening on this side. There's some opening over here too, but I just kind of did it this way. You have the main 2 harness. I have my, this is the harness USB, and then I route it this way. There's plenty of space here since you don't have the motor, so this is the bracket. And I have my GPS and 4G plugged in. I'm just gonna put the 4G and the GPS all right here to make it easy. I route, then the USB part, I route it down there. There's a crack down here that I pull out my USB, 2 of them, and then my aux cord. And then for the mic, on the opposite side of the crack, it's hard to see right now, maybe I'll show a picture later, I put the mic squeeze in between the little crack down here. What's up, guys? Put the car mostly back together. Don't mind the trim not pushing in and all that stuff. I have this rear camera plug that I think they sent me the wrong one, I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be for the video for the rear camera. if you want to use the system on here. But I managed to just use the OEM camera setup. I'll show you in a bit, but that's how it looks. Besides the trim, everything looks fine. I just tested it out. The screen is very reflective with no screen protector. What I'm gonna do, like my other one, is I'm just gonna buy like a matte or an anti-glare screen protector and put it on top. It helps a lot. Let me do a quick over review on the screen. You turn it on to power. Don't mind the beeping. So I noticed that it does take a bit to load up, which is fine. It's just, I'm used to it to my other CarPlay, but it is what it is. This one comes up the Android animation part. I think you can change that. There's a certain secret setting you can do. I need to look into that. But this is how long it takes. And boom. If you have CarPlay in other cars, you're familiar with the setup. Most of the stuff really doesn't matter. You're probably not gonna use it. I don't really use it. The nav, I don't need it because I'm gonna do CarPlay. Bluetooth, we'll get into that. Music, same thing, I don't use it. Video, same thing. This car info is kind of cool. Sometimes I use it. It just kind of shows you basically like another cluster. You can swipe back and forth to the color you want. You want to be sport on stuff, and then you have your mileage. Don't worry about the time and the date. It's always wrong for some reason. It never wants to, when I change it, it never wants to stay that way, but it's okay, whatever. Go back. So like I said, I don't use this, I don't use that, I don't use that, I don't use that. I barely use that. Setting, normal, volume, adjustment, nav, and this is basically for like the reverse camera. Now I'm on here, let me show you. I have the original toggle on, because if you don't, it goes to like their program backup camera. At the moment it does not show anything, but I think because I have the wrong harness, we'll get to that, but that can be solved by just turning this on and it'll just pop up the OEM CarPlay backup camera. Let me show you real quick. So that's it. Nothing too bad, still works, everything works. Of course, and then just about the system, and then you do system setting, and then it is basically, it is an Android tablet, so you know you have Android settings in there, and then you have other apps. The system overall is very responsive. You can see I'm swiping back and forth, super responsive. This is a DSP, basically where you change basically your EQ. I'm just still messing around with this. I have this is as my user. Speaking of audio, for this system you're going to use aux audio to make it the smoothest possible. Now if you want to learn how to do CarPlay and stuff while still using Bluetooth, that's fine. I can put down how I did it in the description, how I do it on my other car. But the one or two main reason you bought this screen is for the bigger screen and CarPlay. Now USB and my aux cord coming from this little corner trim here. Don't mind the wire tucking, because later on I will do wire management, but that's what's going to come out. And then I have my aux here, and I have my USB thing. With this unit, there's two USB. If I didn't mention earlier in the video, there's two of them. One of them is for charging slash data transfer, and then this one, other one is also charging slash CarPlay. There's no label on it, just kind of play with it and see which one works, and then of course this one works for me. What I love so far, wire over wireless, is that everything is super smooth. With wireless you have to connect on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and then loads and blah blah blah. Of course, tedious a little bit, but you get to it. With wire, let me show you. I just plug it in. Boom, pop up. Loads a little bit. Takes a few seconds here and there, but it does it automatic. I didn't have to click anything at all. turn that off for copyright, and CarPlay works just as it should be. No issue, no lag, no nothing. Music, you know, everything works. It's charging. Wow, has CarPlay. Like I said, super easy. I even do it real quick. I take it out. No more CarPlay, right? I even get out this screen right here. It just does it automatic. I love it. Way better than wireless. Yeah, show you. Charge, pops up. That one's even faster. Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna have it for about a week or so, play with it some more. Then I'll give y'all an honest review of tweaks, certain things here and there, and then I'll give y'all an honest review of the whole product. But overall, I'll say thumbs up. Takes a little bit of work to take stuff apart, but I'll get back to y'all in about a week or so. Let's go. What's good, everybody? Back again after about actually more than a month of using this CarPlay right here. So I'm here to give y'all a kind of a overview of what I like and don't like about this. Bear with me, because towards the end I'm gonna give y'all some troubleshoots that a lot of people have with this CarPlay and my iOS CarPlay. Just little stuff that I didn't really mention in my iOS video, but I will in this video. So let's get to it. After a few, I would let's just say 2 months of using this, I would say that the unit overall is pretty good. Pros is that CarPlay works really well. Remember, this unit is wireless and wire CarPlay. So I've tested both. Right now it is on right now it's wire. You can see it's working. Works really good. Wireless too works. I'll show you after this, but just a quick thing to show you. So imagine you come in here and you're in this screen normally, then you boot up. So you're like, all right, plug it in, boom. It's gonna charge. It's gonna come up. Boom, CarPlay. This is where I show you how to connect the Bluetooth CarPlay. Now, I put in quotation Bluetooth because you actually need to turn on the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but you only need to connect the Bluetooth part and the Wi-Fi will auto do it. So go into this tab right here, should pop up. There's a few different menus. Go to the very bottom. This should show up. My device name is this thing. Yours could be different. Doesn't really matter. As long as you know the name, you can see the name. It might be on already, it might be not. You turn it on, and then you wait for it to show up on your phone. Bluetooth right here, and mine shows at the bottom, and he already asked me to pair, so I'll pair, and I'll just allow it, and boom, at the very bottom right there, it's connected. Now you see it's connected. It's gonna do its thing. Now it pops up the auto thing. When I mean say you leave, and it'll ask me, do I want to use CarPlay? Yes. When I say leave Wi-Fi on, because it'll do this auto connect with the Android unit, and boom, play something for you guys. Copyright. But it works. Let me get to the cons. One of the things is when you start up the car, the boot up time is kind of slow, but it doesn't bug me too much. But I just know for some people it might bother them. So let me show you all the boot up time real quick. And this is what you see with the boot logo. Does its thing. And then that. It boots not too bad. Sometime it takes a little bit longer. Sometime it goes a little bit faster. But what you saw is kind of like the average of how long it takes. I guess it doesn't bother me much, so it's whatever. Of this unit is it goes along with the boot up time. So once it boot up and you see that all the menu with the Bluetooth on and stuff, it does takes a bit for CarPlay, like I guess software to kick in. So for the USB part, like if you turn on the car and then plug it in right away, like it doesn't do anything. It just kind of charges. It doesn't do the CarPlay, and then a little bit later it'll, you know, boot up. Bluetooth also, you boot up, it says you're connected, it takes a couple minutes, and then it'll whatever. So let me show y'all the wire version car. So what most people would do is turn on the car, and then, you know, the menu comes up, and then I will plug in my phone right here. See, it doesn't do anything, right? Because normally when you plug it in, it thinks it's a charge. Nothing. Right? So I just unplugged it, but now it charged, and then it doesn't. You see where I'm saying, like, it doesn't do anything. So I'm assuming like the CarPlay module part, it just takes a bit to boot up. Time, it doesn't even connect because you plug it in too fast, like too early. Like right now, I don't think it's gonna start because it's just not gonna whatever. And you hear that little thing comes on. See, like it's still charging my phone. Let's see, but it's like doesn't want to work. Now, if I unplug and plug it back in, boom, it starts working like super fast. So I guess it's like, I still haven't figured it out. Maybe that little chime thing is like the indication that everything is fully boot up, and then you can, you know. But what I noticed so far is most of the time, once I plug in my phone after that chime, it for sure will boot up CarPlay. So it works. I'm about to show you how it auto. So I'm gonna turn the car, let it boot, and it should automatically turns on CarPlay once everything boots up. It pops up the screen now. I'll wait a bit. Wait, not plugged in. It's doing this all by itself. Hey, the second con is this trim. Maybe it's just who I got it from, or I just got like a not good trim. You see there's a little gap. It's not like flat, the plastic part, and it's harder plastic, so like I can go down but it'll pop back up. It's a little annoying sometimes, but it's not too bad, so I'll just deal with it. I might hit up the manufacturer to see if it's all like this or not, but I know some people say they can trim a little bit to make it. It don't bother me enough to like, there's like a little curve or it's just not flat here, but that's probably the second thing that's for the cons. Other cons would be just having the audio to aux. If you haven't, if you don't know, these unit, the audio source is through the aux cord. So when you're doing the install, make sure that you plug the aux plug, the black long skinny aux plug from the unit, the wiring harness into your aux port. And then also make sure that in your OEM system, the blue, like, you know, when you had the the AM and FM, the CD and all that stuff section, make sure you turn that to aux mode. If you don't have those two in, the plug and in the aux mode, there is no audio. I have so many people hit me up when they do the car install, or have somebody else doing the install. They say, hey, I don't have any audio, what's blah blah blah. And then the first two things I always say, hey, are your audio source on aux mode? And then two, is your aux plug plugged in? And you'll be surprised how many times people go, what aux plug? Or what? Like, I'm on Bluetooth. No, keep your OEM source on aux and your plug plugged in. And once everything connect, like CarPlay connects, you will hear sound. Trust me. If not, then it's more than towards the wireless, the harness problem. OEM like system UI is that with this unit, it's like kind of slow. Let me show y'all. So I'm moving the mouse, you know, and look how it's like the mouse kind of catches up, but like watch. I am clicking setup with the enter button right now. It doesn't even show it. Just wait, see how it does that. It's like a delay and then it pops up. Same thing. So the mouse most of the time is okay, but when I click enter, look, I already did it and it's just like lagging. Boom. But that's like the downside. I don't really care much because most of the time I'm never gonna use it, so it really doesn't matter. And go back. See how it's like now it's like frozen. It's just like laggy, so that's like bad about it. But for me, I don't care. I'm not gonna use it that much. All this is my opinions only. My main reason to get this is to have the bigger screen and CarPlay and have it wired. And then second option would be wireless. It does what it does. Is it the best? No. You have to go in there with this. These units, they're not perfect. They're never perfect. So you have to go in there with a grain of salt, knowing that, just know that they're not perfect and that's just how it is. For what I need, it works. Okay, so this is where we get the troubleshoot section of the video, where I explain some things, some settings or some things that you might have encountered. So we'll start off with the setting part. Once to have it working, like if you put this in reverse, you see how the backup camera, you would want it, go to setting, and you go to backup, and you turn on original. Now all these other stuff, you don't really have to. I mean, so far I noticed that as long as you turn on the original part right here, everything's okay. All this, if you want to copy it, that's fine. Make sure you turn on back car mute, because there's this thing where it's on. If you playing music and you have you put in reverse, it will like pause the music and cut off, and then you put it in drive and it goes back on. It's kind of annoying, so you turn that off for sure. And the other stuff, I mean, I just have the volume. Like, this is just my setting. Like I said, you don't have to copy it if you don't want to. Navigation too, same thing. But the main thing is the backup camera, because I know some people that have trouble with not seeing your backup camera. And that's pretty much it for the setting part. I mean, I have my EQ like this to sound it as good as possible to how I like it. The other troubleshooting is there's no audio. If you connect everything and there's no audio at all, I'm telling you, the first two things you need to check is your aux plug, you see how it's making noises? If your aux plug from the wire and harness is plugged into your aux port, that's one. And then two, make sure that your OEM system is on aux mode. Now, if you don't want to go to the whole setting menu, just go down here. If you have this car or another car, you know, all this, make sure that you keep toggling this, playing music. This one is like aux and USB. You turn that on, I guarantee you most of the time there's audio. This is what I mean by the OEM like software, like changing the source. So you have the AM, FM, SAT, CD, Bluetooth, aux. Okay, if you want to have flawless, like make it super easy, convenient for overall, you would change this source to aux. You change your source to aux, leave it like that, or you can press it over here. You toggle back and forth. It'll go from Bluetooth to aux to USB, but you only have two, so it'll just toggle back and forth. But make sure, and I'm gonna say it like 10,000 times, make sure that it's on this mode and this aux is plugged in. Once CarPlay is connected, I guarantee you it will work. If it doesn't work, then it's gonna be a wireless the harness issue, or you didn't plug everything like fully to the back of it. But I promise you, most of the time, most of the people that hit me up about audio source problem, no audio problem, is that they don't leave in aux and they don't have it plugged in. Other troubleshooting is, let's say that you don't really hate the aux core like sound quality, and you just want to play on OEM Bluetooth speaker or source, because trust me, it is a difference sound quality. Now we're gonna go base off you're connected to CarPlay. Disclaimer, if you do it that way, if you do like maps, sound, all that stuff would not go through. It would just be like your music. If you do like playing stuff from audio Bluetooth, so that's how you get to it. So make sure you turn that to your Bluetooth thing, back to your Bluetooth. Now it should say it's playing, right? But you don't hear any volume because it's still, this is CarPlay, so it's playing through the aux. What you need to do is, if you have an iPhone or Android, but I have an iPhone, you come up to here, you can see that it says it's connected to the local host, which is the CarPlay like name for this whatever. Just switch it to this audio source. Boom. I can't play it loud, but it's playing now. So now you have CarPlay and playing audio on Bluetooth. I do this on my IS because I don't really care about the navigation and all that stuff. Honestly, I would do the same for this car too, but this car is going to be used by other people, so I'm just going to leave in aux mode, so it'd be super convenient for everybody. But if this is me, I would always play it on OEM Bluetooth because it just sounds a lot better, and I still have CarPlay. It'll connect and everything like that. The only bad thing is you just have to do this part right here. Doing that every time it connects to CarPlay, because it will auto connect to this thing, and you just got to switch it back. This is what I mean by switching your audio source on the car and your phone. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Sorry it's a long one. I just learned my lesson from my IS video that a lot of people have issues here and there, and I didn't really explain too much on that video, so I wanted to say in this video and to touch on certain topic of where a lot of people have issue with. But overall, again, the CarPlay unit does what it does for me, so I can't be complaining about it too much. It has its flaws, but overall it works pretty well. But other than my IS, I told you that next time if I get another thing for another car, I would definitely get it wired and wireless unit, because it works like so much better, and if the other one fails, you can just use the other option. But overall, thank you. This is the CT. It's taken a while for me to do this video because I just been want to mess with that for a long time. Other than that, hopefully I have some more ideas for content coming out this summer. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. I've hit like 1,000 some people followers right now, so I appreciate it. Till next time, deuces.